Well, I hit record on this thing, Matt, so I guess it's
start.
time to get
xRadiox
started. I like how we just talk over each other at the beginning of this. Like, you can tell we're not in the same place, same state or city.
I know. You know, that is a really good point. It does lose a little bit in the fact that I can't read your, eyes and your body language. I sense it, but I can't see it. And it does make things a little tricky.
Yes, and trust me, you're missing a lot by not reading my body language.
I know you're wearing slippers. I know are you drinking coffee right now, or are you drinking an alcoholic beverage?
I am drinking beer.
Excellent.
I am drinking beer. I had some coffee earlier to keep me awake because I'm old, and it's 10:30 at night here in mid-Michigan. And so that'll keep me awake, but I had to have some beer because, well, we're doing xRadiox, and when we did All Request Saturday nights with Jeff, and after we were done, we'd go to the bar. So that's my excuse for drinking a beer tonight.
Puts you back in the mindset. So we're episode 6, and we have to discuss something serious.
Yes, so something that was brought to our attention.
Mm-hmm. So basically, our last episode was with the Doc of Rock, and he had mentioned that because there are people of all shapes and sizes and heights and ages and genders and religious beliefs and things like that maybe it would be useful.
Let me boil it down for you, Matt. I think he wanted to show this to his kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we said bad words.
We
and
do.
He must be one of those good families where they don't let their kids listen to swear words. And I applaud that. I really do. I'm not as good of a father as him.
It's not easy. Yeah. But we don't say a lot, but they do exist. We don't shy away from them. The naughties, the 7 deadlies, the 7 deadly words that in radio, if you are familiar with radio, those things that you aren't allowed to say, we don't seek them out, but we don't run from them either. That's a safe way to say it, right?
And he kind of brought this up to us, and we poo-pooed him to begin with. We're like, no, we've already marked this as explicit. Why would we do? And then he kind of said it again, and so we said, fine.
Yeah.
We're going to do this, but we're going to do it our way. Because, as I wrote you in our one thing, we think we're funny, so we're going to do it like this. So, Matt, before we get started with all of the shenanigans we're going to have here within the next, 45 minutes to an hour.
And there are plenty. I'm excited.
There are plenty of them. Right. But I think you should please give them our first of our many disclaimers that we've written.
Okay, I'll pretend I'm on radio again. Warning, this episode of xRadiox sponsored by the 7 Deadlies. Product placement can be found throughout the show. Listener discretion is advised. And go yourself.
I didn't think you were going to put that last part in, but kudos. So
on with the show.
All right, so we've given you the disclaimer that we do curse every once in a while,
but very rarely.
Rarely, and we do it for artistic effect, not just for the shock value of it, because really swearing isn't even that shocking anymore in this world.
No.
So, like we normally do, we're going to talk about some things that we've been listening to and things that we've been watching and, fun stuff like that too. But even more fun, we have another guest today. And Matt, you have much more of a connection to this person than I know him. I knew him well. I shouldn't say I know him well. We haven't seen each other in a while. But back in the day, I knew him fairly well. But you knew him better, so I'm going to let you do the intros.
Very true. So this gentleman that we are graced with on the show today, I have known since junior high school. And he and we went to college together. We took the journey at the same time, and I'm pretty sure we signed up for Radio X at the same time. We can talk about that more, but it is someone who actually was on E-staff. He's got a lot of experience at the radio station, both from a trying to be the voice of responsibility amongst a bunch of crazies, and also being a DJ himself. So we're super happy to have Sluys here at the show today. Sluys, how you doing, buddy?
I am fantastic, and I'm probably never be able to live up to that intro.
You totally were the voice of reason most times, Sluys. Come on.
Which is scary if I was the voice of reason, but But thank you.
It was a different time back then, as they say.
It was a different time. Yeah. So you were on ESTF. You were the general manager of WUPX for what? How long were you there?
A year, maybe 2.
For a year.
I think it was definitely 1 year. I think it was my 3rd year there. Maybe
and
my 4th year.
We signed up at the same time, didn't we? Didn't we all go down and fill out applications at the same time?
I thought it was you and me, like, because we walked up from our dorm room at the south or whatever, the bottom end. It was down the hill, walked up past the whatever the field house was, and we're like, hey, look, a radio station, like, and that said like accepting applications. We're like, well, what the hell? It's they can't say no to everybody, like somebody's got to do this. Might as well be us. And so like we threw our name in the hat. And then I think when we got back, we told our other friend, are we calling him by name? Is that authorized? So we told Ben about it. And I think he, put in for it as well. Yep. But yeah, I think we saw the thing. I think we saw the sign or whatever was going on. And we're like, shoot, this will be fun. Like, let's give it a go. And we got, of course, like the worst time slot possible because, we're freshmen who knew nothing. And
was it midnight or was it 3 a.m.? Because that was when I know that I had.
Was it? I thought it was like the 6 to 8 or the 4 to 6 or something like that.
In the morning?
In the morning, yeah.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous.
Or was that the second semester? Maybe the first one was like midnight to 3 or something like that.
I'm going to go with first semester was midnight to 3 because that was what mine was. Mine and Jeff's, we were on midnight to 3, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds, I think our first semester we had midnight to 3. And then I think second semester we were like, let's, for whatever reason, I think we ended up with like 4 to 6 a.m. or something like that, or, 6 to 8 or something like that. Cause I just remember being a fun dynamic during that early morning slot. Because the only people listening to us was like the lifeguards of the high school or something.
Or the prisoners.
But it was and the prisoners. They always listen though, because what else are they going to do? But it was a cool dynamic because like I was trying to be Mr. Responsible and like go to bed at a reasonable hour, but I had to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to do this, radio show.
Right.
So I was like pissed off because, I got about 6 less hours of sleep than I needed. And you were always like slap happy from not
Staying
sleeping
up.
At all. Because you would just stay awake, shotgunning Pepsis like they were going out of style.
That's absolutely
and so
true.
it was a crazy dynamic between the two of us. Like, I don't know. It was fun. It probably sounded ridiculous to anybody that was listening.
It was so much fun. And it was just like such freedom to do something, like to say that you had a responsibility to turn on a radio transmitter at 3 a.m. is just kind of insane when you think about it.
Yeah, to a 18-year-old kid who, has no credentials at all or anything to point to besides a high school diploma. So,
yeah, and here's a 12 lines of printed out instructions to turn on the transmitter. Good luck, kids.
Right.
Go for it.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Right. Don't swear.
Don't swear.
There you go.
So did you guys have to go, since you guys had those early morning shifts, and I did too in my first go around there, did you guys have many times where you had to go over to public safety? I think it was called campus safety.
Or you had to go down to public safety and get the keys, bring them down to the university center, turn the place, unlock the doors, fire up the transmitter, play the legal ID, and off you go. And then, and oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes you had to turn it on and then you had to turn it back off. Like if there wasn't right after you anyone, you're like, oh, there we go. That's 3 hours. And then you just shut it down again until the next person came in.
Right. Or if the other person just didn't show up for their show or something.
Yeah.
Which
did happen a lot now that you mention it.
Especially between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. It's not like college kids where, just chomping at the bit to jump up and go not get paid to play
Strangely,
songs.
like the noon to 2 or like the, 2 to 4, like the mid-afternoon ones that Spike Chiquette wasn't doing. Like those would sometimes go blank. But there was always people on the station that was like, hey, so-and-so didn't show up for their show. Who wants to do it? And be like, sure, I'll go play music for 2 hours. What the hell?
That's how Jayce and I got connected.
Yeah, exactly.
We just both happened to be sitting there.
Yeah. And that's how you would get your in too. You would kind of like, I don't know about you guys, but I would kind of hover in the area.
Mm-hmm. Right.
and wait for somebody to not show up during times when I thought other people were listening.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And
Like
I'd
you
be
were
like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. And then I get on because that's, during the day, that's when,
right.
the, for lack of a better term, cool people at the station were there.
Right. The ones that we thought actually knew what they were doing, and they were professional broadcasters. It turns out they were like 2 years older than we were and knew about half a breath more about broadcasting than we did. But but at the time, like they were like the whatever, what's his name? The guy that just died, Larry King of, college radio. Yeah. So
the Bridgettes, the Rudies, the Marks of the world.
Absolutely.
Yep. Exactly. So that, one of the things that you would, so what we ask all of the people that we have on the show, and first off, thanks for doing this, Sluys. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, man.
But one of the things that we ask everyone is to come up with a list of songs. Could be 5 songs, could be 500 songs, and that make you think of, your time at Radio X, or stories that happened, or things like that. And you gave us a list, which is cool, and we're gonna get to it. But one of the things that you wrote that made me crack up, and I haven't thought of this in at least 15 years, was the what was it?
The Red Hot Chili Broemers.
Red Hot Chili Broemers. So apologies to Mark Broemer, and I will bleep it if he doesn't want us to say anything. But one of the ongoing jokes that we would spend an hour sitting there.
We were at
basically
somebody's
what
house.
Would happen is we would just sit in the studio or wherever we happened to be, and we would take band names or artists and somehow work his last name into the band name.
Yes.
And it sounds stupid, but we did it for forever. And so we would look at all the posters on the walls, and we would say, like Corner Shop, Brimful of Broemers, or whatever it may be. And it was, to us, it was so funny. And it still made me laugh. I
totally forgot about this.
Yeah, Mega Broemers. Oh, God, all of them.
The Pet Shop Broemers. You could go on and on. Kings of Broemer, or Broemers of Leon. Like, either way you do it, it's really funny. And
basically take anywhere you'd put Smurf and just inject Broemer where Smurf would go. Is it is it a Broemer screw or a cork Broemer?
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely true, though. And so anyway, I know that there will be at least a handful of people who will be laughing right now when they're listening to this, because that was like an ongoing, the entire time I was there. If we were all sitting around, we would start naming bands.
Right.
He knew that we were doing it, right? It wasn't like it wasn't a secret.
So. If not, I
don't think it was a big secret.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know where this started, but this reeks of Bridgette.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe.
I think we were, excuse me, we were at somebody's house, sitting around. I don't know if we were drinking beer or just BSing or whatever. And like, I don't know, somebody said something about like, oh yeah, Broemer's not here. Excuse me 1 second.
Yeah, that's sitting around at somebody's house drinking beer totally checks out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We're sitting around, and like, I forget how it started, but that's what the conversation morphed into. And I swear we sat around, it basically went around the room like playing the alphabet game of like, whoever can't think of a name to insert Broemer's name into, like, loses or something like that. And we must have been there for 45 minutes to an hour just going to town on every band we could think of. And we're all, hip radio DJ cool guys and girls who, know a whole bunch of, awesome, weird, tragically.
A lot of bands. Yeah. A lot of different bands. And it works with anything. And
then it just kind of morphed into that. So anytime there was like a quiet time in the studio, not when we were on air, but like sitting in the office or something like that, like that was how you broke the silence, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know who my favorite? Do you know who my favorite Canadian band was coming out of Radio X?
Who?
Is this
the Tragically Broemers?
Tragically,
and that's how it would go, exactly like that.
Yes.
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 Oh man.
But when I read that list, I was like, Red Hot Chili Broemers. It took me, I didn't even put that together until you guys started talking about it. I'm like, that's why that's there. I get it now.
Yeah. The wheels were turning.
And when they did make the stage, they were always playing at the Love Pad.
Oh,
that's
the
true.
Love Pad.
all those bands that didn't really exist played at the Love Pad.
Oh
That's
God,
true.
that was the best ongoing.
I feel
gig.
like that was definitely a Bridgette thing too.
Oh,
When we
totally.
get Bridgette on, she's got a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah. I still to this day wonder how many people in that town we know where it was, but how many people in that town went out and tried to look for the Love Pad. Where is that? Is that the stage at a bar? Is it the 3rd Street, Third Base Bar or something like that? It's the stage they named it.
Every once in a while, someone would call.
Every
once in a while, someone would call and ask me, and I would say, I've never been there. I'm not sure. I don't know. I hear it's popular, but I
just know that my favorite band to ever play the stage of the Love Pad was the Bleeding Martha Stewarts. I don't know why, but that is the name that stuck with me forever.
That's not a real band?
No, it's not, amazingly enough.
Darn. I could have swore it was real.
Yeah. Or the, what was the Plater L? Remember that one?
No.
The Plater L.
Yeah. So
no, I don't remember this one.
So when when Josh the Punk guy and his buddies brought Mustard Plug to town, it was going to be at someplace in town that closed down. So that was their venue. So they they're bringing this band in, and I forget the place, but whatever. Anyways, they basically made up a fake name for the venue, a temporary fake name, and they were going to call it the Plater L. And they had shirts made up security for the Plater L. And they got the name because apparently the Lamplighter Motel out in Ishpeming or something, there were a bunch of lights that had been burned out since the mid 80s. So it just said Plater L forever and ever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's a
that
good
was
one.
that was another fictitious venue in town there.
And it's funny that you bring up the Mustard Plug show, which I'm still upset that I didn't go to.
Oh God, it was so good.
I actually got in contact. Actually, he got in contact with me, Kevin Einstein. And he gave me the story of how Mustard Plug actually got to come up to Marquette and play. And I told him, and I said, well, I posted it. I didn't tell him in person, but I posted it that I'm going to let him explain all that when we interview him. Let's just say that it took Kevin in a bar downstate to make it happen.
Yeah.
Really?
And we'll just leave it at that. I hope I'm getting that right. If not, he can explain it when we have him on.
Nice teaser.
If he agrees to it.
I mean, I don't remember. I don't know anything about that part of it. All I know is Josh the Punk guy and some of his buddies had promised that they were going to have them play, and there was going to be a venue, and they were going to get a part of the door and all this other kind of stuff. And then the venue dried up. Went away. I don't know. There was no insurance or some crazy legal reason that they're nope, not doing it here. And they came because this is when he was the station manager and I was the GM. And basically we went through 3 weeks of, university red tape in about 3 hours with the comptroller sitting in the Radio X studio. And I'm yep, we can totally do this. We got money in the account to cover the door and all that kind of stuff. If nobody shows up, we can pay these guys. But it's all on the up and up and it's all good. And she was okay, we'll make it happen. And sure enough, she did. So,
wow.
Yeah, wow. It was crazy how it worked out. It was on a Friday morning or something. And I was just hey, so if we have something like this going on, how would we make that happen and make it legal? And so the university doesn't shut down the station because of it if we decide to sponsor these people. And yeah, she was yeah, so you need to do this, this, and this. And, you got to have this piece of paperwork in 2.5, 3 weeks ahead of time and whatever else. I'm what if it was tonight? And off you go.
For
theoretically,
fun, let's say.
Right. Yeah. There's
your happening in 4 hours.
There's the writing prompt for, your next next novella. But yeah, that was entertaining though.
Wow, I don't have any harrowing stories like that from my time at the X. Yeah, none of it had to do with money at all, ever.
Oh God, don't ever be GM good. Then, because that was. Ugh.
Yeah, Sluys.
No, I'm in management now, and I don't. No, thank you.
Yeah. Sluys had to deal with a couple tense things, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Were you there, Sluys? Were you the GM? I can't remember if it was you or Stone Cold Jim Bollinger.
Was he? He was the station manager.
Was he the state? Okay.
Yeah.
Were you guys the dynamic duo when they had the the Nazis were on the air? Those folks who did all the
No.
they did all the racist stuff. They locked themselves in the studio.
That was before the guys who like grabbed the bottle of tequila and like, had their fun on the radio from, midnight to 3 a.m. or something like that. I was not, because I think that was our sophomore year.
Was that Bridgette and Rudy probably?
I think so, yeah. I think Bridgette was the GM.
Oh, wow. I vaguely remember that.
I remember.
There was also a night too where Jim had to go in when he was station manager or general manager, when he had to go in and take care of business one night too. That might have, I'm sure in the time that radio station's been on the air, there have been plenty of off-color people who have locked themselves in the studio and had their 3 hours of fun.
Yeah.
And again, kind of funny that the responsible parties would be like 19 years old.
Right. Exactly.
They would be the ones required to go take care of their stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
you got to go in and like lay down the law with these, rabble rousers.
Yeah. And do you remember, so I'm not going to name it and any names, but do you remember the guy who would always do a freestyle rap at the end of his show? And
is he the almost It's All Good in the Hood? Or It's All Good in the MPT
almost
Hood?
Always swear.
I don't remember that
we had
part.
to like listen. We had to listen to this to make sure he didn't. And it was, he would even go so far as saying, blah, 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 a little bit and blah, blah, blah. Oops, I'm not going to say. But then sometimes he would say it like, oops, I'm not going to say shit. And we'd be like, but you just did.
But you just did.
Yeah.
Oops, you're fired again.
I just remember several weeks in a row.
I have a couple names in mind, but I'm not sure what one it is.
I remember we had to sit through the show several times in a row because it was like people would tell us, hey, he said something bad on the air again. And we'd be like, really? Yeah. And so we would tune in and we'd listen and be like, come on. Part of us were like, please don't swear. Please don't swear. And part of us was like, do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't remember that part quite so much. I do remember,
especially in a small city like Marquette, it was kind of fun.
Yeah,
and I know we're not supposed to think that, but it was kind of fun when things like that happen because it's like it's a smaller, it's a city, but it's small and it's not tons of action going on.
It was like a NASCAR car crash. Like you don't wish it upon anybody, but it gave you something interesting to look at.
If it happens,
you love to watch it.
Yeah, you take a look and see what's going on.
Right.
So let's talk about your song list if you want to go through some of these things. So some of the things that I noticed about your list is that I also shared a lot of them. Like some of the songs, Bumblebee Tuna by Mephistopheles.
And as much as I hate that song, it's still
it's
a terrible song.
But it's so catchy.
It's so catchy, but it's a ridiculous song and I hate it and I wish it was never invented or created, whatever you want to call it. But it was a part of the time there. Like you couldn't go through an All Request Saturday Night without at least 3 of the frat houses calling from their party saying, you got to play it for us.
Yeah.
Even though you just played it half an hour ago. They're like, oh, I missed it. You got to play it again, man.
And I would bop along. Whenever that song played, I would be like, I would start singing it. It's catchy.
It is catchy as sin.
Jayce, do you remember that one?
Fantastic. Mephistopheles. Mm-hmm. Come on. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that song. That was on the no, I'm not going to play it list, but I would play it.
I have scruples, damn it.
It was right up there with Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck. Not happening again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, on All Request Saturday Night, we played it. We had to. I mean, it was like you said, every party wanted to hear that song.
Yes.
And so we made it happen. If you have not heard that song, do yourself a favor and Google it. I'm sure it's available on, I don't know, YouTube or something. But if you have not heard Bumblebee Tuna, get through the first 25 seconds or something of it, and then it's a really catchy tune. The beginning is kind of dark and spooky, but then it gets really fun. So check that out if you are wondering what we're talking about. And if you listened to Radio X or you were a DJ there, you already know exactly what we're talking about. And you're either saying, ugh, or you're saying, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's mostly
what else we got? I don't remember. Cry on Cue, I totally remember. They were a local reggae band that was awesome, and they played in the studio.
Right?
Were you there when they played live in the offices?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Bridgette set it up, but I was there for it. I think I was running the board while she was working the stuff out in the studio or whatever. But
Yeah.
so for people that don't know, Cryon Q, the guy who, I forget his name, I apologize, but beautiful artist, like magnificent artist. But he was from, I think, up in like Houghton Hancock area.
Yeah.
And they would
I think they
down.
were techies, weren't they?
Yeah. I think, I didn't know if all of them were, but I knew he was from up that way, something like that. But they would come down because Marquette was a bigger audience, I guess. But yeah,
in the audiences of the Upper Peninsula, Marquette was definitely the bigger one.
It's all relative
for sure.
It's all relative. But the band was like, they had like 3 trombones and a couple of trumpets and, you know, a bongos player, and there was like, I want to say 12, 15 people in the band plus him singing, playing guitar and all this kind of stuff. And somehow Bridgette like figured it all out and did some like, you know, Alan from Bachelor Party or whatever that one was where they're in Vegas, you know, like the one where he's playing craps and he or not craps but blackjack, and he's got all the like formulas running through his head while he's counting cards or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
What's the
I've
movie?
seen it, but I have no idea. It's no, that's
the movie with baby Carlos.
Yeah, with the naked guy who jumps out of the trunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
why do they call him? Yeah, the hangover. That's what it is. So the one where
one man wolf pack.
Yeah, the one man wolf pack guy. When he's, you know, they're like, we need some money, and so he goes to the blackjack table and like somehow learns to count cards in like 10 seconds, and there's like they show all the like, you know, mathematical things like floating around his head, you know, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So Bridgette does some of that. Was a really long explanation for what should have been a very simple meme, but
moving right.
I think in memes nowadays, like it's sad. So she does some math in her head and figures out how to get all these people positioned in a 15-foot square room, with one microphone in the center, to where I think his name was Bernie, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So Bernie's singing and playing the guitar into this microphone, and then like in the other corner of the room is like the trombones facing away from the microphone. They're facing the wall. So like some kind of like billiard shot, like 2 or 3 bumper echo reflection, so that the timing is right or the volume is right to, you know, and amazingly it all came out perfect. It was awesome. It sounded like a 12-track recording that was mixed and everything. It was fantastic, and it was on DAT. And I don't know whatever happened to that tape. I hope it's still floating around the studio somewhere.
I don't think
we were
it
there
probably is.
last spring, and it's probably not.
No,
unfortunately,
it's so different, Sluys. If you would, I mean, it's, you know, the rooms are still structurally more or less the same, but
Matt, you forgot to disclaimer this part. We're old. We're old men, and we remember how it used to be. There, go.
Yes. So okay,
right. And it was better then too. You got to put that in there.
We were better than you, just so you know. We were better than you current kids, you punks. You punks, you don't know how good you have it. Now that I've said that, I can move along. So anyway, the rooms are the same, but they have, for some reason, flipped the studio so that now you're facing the board away from that giant window. So you're not looking out the window anymore.
Yeah, you're looking at the wall.
I don't know. I'm hoping it was some structural thing that they had to wire it differently because maybe something caught on fire. That's the only excuse that makes sense to me.
I mean, there's a custom made like countertop for the board and everything there.
Right.
Like,
so it's not like that anymore. All that's ripped down, and there's a new custom made board facing the other way. So that's
makes
different.
No sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way it's done. So they still have some CD racks, and that's still there. The CD racks that we've all built were there. Yeah. But it's, I mean, you know, it's kind of the same, but it's really different. When you go into the studio, it looks really weird. It's definitely.
I believe they still have the same turntable there. If you wanted to play some vinyl, I think that is still the exact
same one.
Techniques 2000s or whatever.
I feel like it's the same one. I could be wrong, but I felt like it was the same one.
It might be. It might be. But you know, you can never go back home again. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
Never go back.
It was still fun though. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. It was a
remember
blast. We could have done another 3 hours. What was that?
I said, remember we got the instant replay machines? and how that
yeah,
was
it was
life
just
changing.
shotgun effect after shotgun effect after shotgun effect after baby cry after shotgun effect.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like everybody went crazy with the stupid sampled noises like shotguns and baby crying and whatever truck horns and.
They don't have those anymore.
So is it all just like PC, hooked
I
up
want to
to
know where those instant
audio
replays went. I would like to have one. I would like one of those here in Studio B because that would be.
You just want to carry
fun.
it around in regular life, don't you? You know, maybe like Gene on Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
carry around your little keyboard that plays fart noises.
I don't get that reference, but yes, I do.
You don't get the Bob's Burgers reference?
I've never watched that show.
What do you have, kids, and now watch TV on?
That's true.
Evenings.
I don't watch any TV really. But yes, so I want that instant replay. So if anyone just threw it away, I'll be really angry. And if it's sitting in a closet somewhere there, send it to me because I will put it to good use. I will play shotgun noises on this podcast throughout everyone talking the whole time.
Where there should be laser effects, we'll use shotgun blasts.
It'll be shotgun blasts, and it'll be old commercials that we put together, 30 years ago or whatever. And that's all we'll do. And that will be the podcast.
So not to call your bluff, but you can get one for $69 on eBay.
What?
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
Yeah. Brand new 360 systems, instant replay, HD.
That's incredible.
Oh, I'm sorry. Disregard the first picture shows like an instant replay box, and then it says replacement faceplate overlay. So disregard.
No.
Sorry.
Damn.
So you can get the replacement faceplate overlay for $69.
$69. Okay, it's more like $700. Sorry.
All right. Well, if somebody sends me that instant replay, I'll probably need a new faceplate. So I'm going to just bookmark that for later. You never know. You also listed Bloodhound Gang, which has come up before.
Okay.
The song you picked, though, Why Is Everybody Always Picking on Me? I don't think we talked about that one because that wasn't. What was the one that we talked about last week?
No, the one that my pick off that album was
so you could
I Wish
get
I Was
chicks.
Queer so I could get chicks.
That's also a winner. And I haven't gotten a chance to listen to your last episode, unfortunately, but I will get to it. Did you talk about Boom?
I love that one. That's my favorite. We did talk about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If you take out the beginning when he says that, when he says Bloodhound Gang and Rob Van Winkle together in this track.
Yeah.
It's a cool song. Like it's a bump it song.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, if you haven't heard this song, Google it for us. We aren't allowed to play music on this podcast, but Google it and take a listen and you'll be like, oh, hey, it is kind of a good song. It's the only real Vanilla Ice song that I kind of like still.
Yeah.
And that says a lot.
Yeah, it's got a good beat and you can dance to it. So no, I went with Why Is Everybody Always Picking on Me? Because it's catchy as hell. And because I remember, I don't know how this is turning into like my memories of Bridgette, like I'm, pining over, lost opportunities or something like that. But I remember Bridgette would like her in the station, like jumping up and down, like, almost fist pumping, to the part where they repeat over and over again that the drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. That's why.
Yeah, I can visualize that. I can see it.
Yeah, I have to say, they lyrically they were on point. Like they were really immature, but their lyrics they were pretty good. Also offensive, but pretty good.
Extremely offensive, but
hilariously offensive.
Hilariously offensive.
But it was all in good fun, as long as you didn't have any sort of debilitating.
Yeah, as long as you weren't the drummer from Def Leppard with only one arm, you were good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's factual information. It's true. It's not like it's slander or anything. He only has one arm. It's a true fact.
And to be fair,
like they said fantastic good drummer. Or bad.
He was the Jim Abbott of rock and roll drummers.
He was. That's a good thing.
Wow, good pull.
Yeah.
A hometown hero from Flint.
Tell you what, I'd like to see David Bryan play keyboard with just one arm.
That's right.
See how I set you up for that segue?
Exactly.
All right, we got his name in it, and it was natural.
Didn't even know it was going to happen.
Just like his curly hair.
Yeah. He still hasn't he hasn't replied to my tweet yet, by the way.
I feel like he never will, but we'll keep trying.
I agree.
Did you?
Cool thing is though, is not to get out of what we're talking about, but Neat Microphones did retweet your tweet. I think that's how you say that, right?
Indeed.
You retweet a tweet.
Well, they responded, and I think they follow me now. I don't really know. I think they might follow me, but they did certainly. I think like they put a little thumbs up or something, and now I'm pretty sure. So we use Sluys, we use Neat Mics, the worker bee, and they look like a little bumblebee, and they're really cute, and they sound really good, and we love them.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to them. I sent them a picture and said, "Hey, look, this is why we sound so sweet, because we use the worker bee." And they were like, "Yeah, cool,
sure,
and
cool." Who doesn't like product placement? Yeah,
exactly. Right. I mean, I hope they send us free stuff, but I'm not.
Speaking of
that either.
Speaking of product placement, have either one of you seen the new Wayne's World commercial with Cardi B?
I did see that.
No.
It's fantastic.
It's pretty good.
I'm
mean,
intrigued.
It's a Super Bowl. Oh, we can't say Super Bowl. It's a large chafing dish commercial that is going to be playing tomorrow. And
as we record this, it'll be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow in history in 2021's large chafing dish football game. So that's it was funny. I thought it was funny because it's cool to see those guys do that. Those characters, they did look a little bit, older.
They looked older, but
to be honest, Dana Carvey looked the same.
Yeah,
he didn't look at all older.
Cardi B looks the same as she is right now. She's doing all right.
Yeah, I would have preferred if it was Tia Carrera, though. That would have been fun.
Yeah, but how are you going to sell to this hip new generation that digs the Cardi B, Matt?
Right.
You can't. You just can't.
I tried to say that as old as I possibly could.
That's right.
These young whippersnappers, they don't understand nothing.
The other band you mentioned that I think we've all talked about before, Jets to Brazil.
Oh yeah,
they didn't really go anywhere huge like nationwide. College radio, they were awesome, but I don't know that they really hit what you would be considered big. But I love Jets to Brazil. They are awesome. I was so happy to see that on your list. Go ahead.
Yeah, I never followed them past college, like kind of when I left Radio X's, like when they kind of fell off my radar. But like I always kind of came back to those couple of songs. There was the one I put in there, Crown of the Valley, and then there was another song that was on that album that was also fantastic, and I would play one of those two probably at least
Lemon
every other
Yellow
time
Black was another good one.
No, that wasn't it. It was something else, but yeah, it was like every other time I was on the radio, I probably played one of those two songs because it was a great song, like it had a nice hook to it, shall we say?
Yes, and they have, he's got a unique voice. The lead singer has a unique voice, and their songs were like rocking, but also definitely there was melancholy. Like they weren't just like party banging rock. It was like, there was a song about his cat. I can't remember the title, but there was a song about his cat that was really good too.
You were way more into them than I was, because I was.
Yeah,
maybe I was.
I was obviously like the butterfly on the wall, observer to Jets to Brazil. You obviously went and asked her to dance, I guess. So
yes, I did. I did indeed. I asked her to dance.
So I'm looking at this, and either this is a very cleverly named song and that fits right in to what we've been talking about, and a person we've brought up multiple times.
Yeah.
Or you just didn't remember the name of the song, but the WuTang one with
the one
I don't even used to sing.
I'm not even going to pretend to be like, the super WuTang, fan or whatever. Like, I think they make some interesting music, but I couldn't name a single album they ever made, or probably a song that they ever made. But I remember
the only song that I can name right off the top of my head is Cream, Cash Rules Everything Around Me. And then maybe that was the one.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Because her and her friend like knew. Like I know any of it.
Yeah, drop a sick rhyme there, Sluys.
Aside from a repetitive WuTang, like that's all I know. Did that really just give it to you? Like that's because that's all I remember.
I have that. I have a couple of their albums, or no, it's not a couple of. Now I sound. Never mind. I don't know what I was saying there.
Well,
I
Jeff
have
probably has
WuTang
it.
in my collection. Jeff
Yeah.
probably stole it from
Jeff
the
probably
station.
has it. We'll find out from him.
Yeah,
If only I had a computer that could tell me the name of the album that I actually have.
Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to Google Wu ... Tang and see what comes up?
Can you do an audio reverse Google? You can like reverse Google a picture and like find out who's in it or something like that. Can you do like a reverse audio Google?
I don't know.
No, but I'm going with that it was off Enter the WuTang,
probably
36 Chambers, because that's the record I had.
Yeah, probably
that sounds about right.
Because that had Cream, it had Method Man, Protect Your Neck.
Yeah.
But I can't, I don't know the lyrics to any of the songs. So whatever one Bridgette was, but whatever one that was, Sluys liked. And if we could get Bridgette to sing it for us, it was entertaining because Bridgette sang it, and she was like everything else she did. She was very passionate about what she, about singing it. So
that's true.
She really sold it, is what you want to say.
Yes. Yeah. That's probably a better short way to say it. Yeah.
You know what else I like about your list is that you included several cover songs, which that's just my jam. So the fact that you put two from the Tower of Song, the Leonard Cohen tribute.
Oh yeah, that was a great album.
Suzanne by Peter Gabriel and Famous Blue Raincoat by Tori Amos.
Yeah,
it's kind of sappy songs, but good.
They are.
And that album was a really good cover album. So if you are a fan of covers, you should check out Tower of Song, because that one is.
You guys, I'm totally drawing a blank on that one. I don't even know what album that is. I
don't
remember it at all.
Those were songs like if you're feeling like having a bad day, like you're feeling bad, like you listen to those songs and you're like, well, I'm feeling bad, but I'm not feeling that bad.
Right.
And you somehow
they're
feel
like
better.
Slit Your Wrist music.
Yeah, sort of the antithesis.
It's Leonard Cohen, so I think by default it's Slit Your Wrist music, but they were covered, so they had a little bit less, downtrodden to them. But it was a good. A lot of them were pretty straight covers, and then some of them were a little unique. But was that the one that had "Everybody Knows" by Concrete Blonde? Is that the one where she covered that, or just someone else did that?
That was the Pump Up the Volume soundtrack.
Pump Up the Volume is what I'm thinking of. Yeah. But that's another good cover, in case you're wondering.
Oh yeah, the slow version. I didn't know there was a fast version of Everybody Knows, because that was the first one I heard, was that the slow version of Everybody Knows.
So that's another like super nerd thing that I get geeked out about. When there's a song that someone knows and they love it and they don't realize that it was covered, that it's different than the actual original song, that gives me like goosebumps when somebody says, oh, I love this song, and I say, oh, that used to be a ballad and somebody like rocked it, and they're like, what? I love that. It's
like All Along the Watchtower was a Bob Dylan song.
Bob Dylan.
Like, Bob Dylan wrote it. Like, but
not
nobody knows that.
That's true.
Everybody knows it as a Hendrix song.
Right.
Yes.
They know it's Hendrix' version of it, and Hendrix was a fantastic version of it. And if you ever listen to the Bob Dylan version of it, Hendrix clearly wins that battle all day long.
I agree.
So, I agree.
As well.
So I went and looked up that album.
Oh yeah.
And I need to go listen to it, because there's a lot of good songs on it and a lot of great artists.
Yeah.
I mean, Elton John's on it. Bono does Hallelujah. Everybody who owns an acoustic guitar has done that song. Including myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have your guitar with you? Play it now.
Nope, it's not with me right now. It's on the other side of the house.
Wrote a song about it. Like, here you go.
And everybody who's listening to this is appreciating that my guitar is on the other side of the house. But Don Henley actually covers Everybody Knows on that.
Oh, really?
Henley.
Good old Don Henley. Didn't he play for the Eagles or something like that?
Yes, he did.
The Philadelphia Eagles or the other Eagles?
Oh, yeah. Oh, just you wait. Just you wait, Henry Higgins. Just you wait.
Is this what we like to call foreshadowing?
It's foreshadowing.
Sure.
Yes.
Let's go with that.
Okay, wait, listen.
No, before you get into this, Matt, because I feel like there's a passionate discourse coming up here or something like that.
Now.
But I just listened to this song the other day, and I feel like we've said this a lot with this list, but I'm glad it's on here, is Van Halen by Nerf Herder.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. Nerf Herder had a couple good ones. Yeah.
I came across that when I was doing like the 6 degrees of an artist on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I came across one of their songs, and I was like, I totally forgot they did this song. I rocked out. It was great.
And they had Nose Ring Girl. Wasn't that their other one? Was that their other hit?
Wasn't that was
that
Everclear,
might have
I
been
thought.
it.
That was who?
Heroin Girl was Everclear.
Yeah, that was Everclear. Yeah. I think they had Nose Ring Girl and Van Halen. Those were their two big ones. But yeah, Nerf Herder. And they, you know what, Nerf Herder actually, I don't know about in the last year or two, but they were still putting out albums a couple of years ago, which surprised me. But yeah, they're old dudes like us, and now they're still doing like pop punk music, which I always find kind of fun.
Yeah, that's.
So do you guys want to hear why I don't hate the Eagles?
Why you don't hate them, or you do hate them?
I just have
the football team.
Either one. I don't hate. Listen, hate is such a strong word.
Well, yeah.
But now I'm amped up, and I have to tell you this, and forgive me if I am long-winded, but here's the thing. So the Eagles, they're a band, and they have good songs. I think that's well documented.
Way to cover it. Good job.
I'm a journalist.
Keep saying irrefutable statements, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. This is not, just my opinion. It's many people's opinion. In fact, the Eagles have sold a lot of records. They are a popular band, and they've been popular since the 60s.
Man, you keep dropping these facts that nobody's ever heard.
I know. And
it's like you're privy to information that hasn't been given to millions and millions of listeners.
There's another artist that you may or may not be familiar with, and his name is Michael Jackson. He is, some might call him the king of pop. He's deceased now, but in his time, he sold a lot of records as well. This is where
has it you're right.
So now, Your Honor, the facts are these. If it please the court, the group that
wait a second. Before you get into this, is the setup for this story the Eagles, the band, not the football team, have sold a lot of records, and they were famous since the 70s.
Yes.
And then Michael Jackson, who was once known as the king of pop, has also sold a lot of records. Is that the short version of where we're at right now?
Yes, Your Honor. The notes are, I'm entering them into as Exhibit A. Yes, that's Exhibit A. So here's my problem. This is at least 2 years ago that I started getting angry about this, and I continue to be angry about it. I want to say 2018. I'm just guessing here. The Record Institute, the group that keeps track of this, that gives you platinum. RIAA. I don't know what it stands for, but they keep track of who has sold the most records. The RIAA just discovered in 2018, and this has been ongoing back and forth between these two artists, that the Eagles just overtook Michael Jackson for the highest selling album of all time. We're talking in the United States. We're talking single album, so not overall sales for an artist, because obviously the Beatles would be way up there, or Michael Jackson. If you talk about worldwide, it's way, it's no contest. He's way past the Eagles. But in the United States, the Eagles and Michael Jackson have been kind of back and forth at the top, the highest selling album of all time. For Michael Jackson, it was Thriller from 83 or whatever.
Yeah. For
the Eagles, I'm just getting angry thinking about this, to say it out loud. For the Eagles, it was the Eagles, their greatest hits, 1971 to 1975. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. One guy puts together a explosion of hits in one neat little package, and he says, I'm going to put this out as an album. Another artist, or a series of artists, says, I'm going to take all of our good songs, get rid of all the nonsense, and we're going to put that out. And that's going to be what sells all of our records. It's not fair, I tell you.
So here's a question.
What?
if I may interject something here.
Yeah, please.
So if Michael Jackson's standalone album Thriller, which obviously sold extremely well.
Yes. 33 million or something
Okay, so
according to Wikipedia, it has sold 47.3 million copies.
There you
That's
go.
Thriller.
and
Okay.
what's the Eagles' greatest
The
hits at?
Eagles. Oh crap! My webpage went back. Hold on one second. The Eagles were below that, Matthew.
Well, if it's
Eagles,
relatively recently then, because
Eagles were listed at 41.2 million. They're right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but Wikipedia, you never know.
But
I could go in there and change everything at Wikipedia.
But it's their greatest hits.
So here's a question: Did Michael Jackson put out a greatest hits album ever?
Yeah, every album was his greatest hits album.
But what I'm saying is, like, why do you think like Thriller?
No,
would be
he
the best-selling album?
He did have history. He put out history.
Right. So wouldn't you think like
Tory.
greatest hits versus greatest hits, Michael Jackson would blow him out of the water?
Yeah, I think
But he
so.
didn't.
And I think that this is the thing. Like Michael Jackson in the 80s said, I'm going to put out an album and it's going to kick everybody's ass. And here it is. And it's still selling millions of records. The Eagles
I have to retract what I said, Matt. You are correct. The Eagles, you're right. US, 38 million copies.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's Thriller, US, 33 million copies.
Okay. So are you all as pissed as I am? Because this is nonsense.
I understand. I understand. What you don't like is it's like
the Eagles
I took my
released
All-Star team.
The Eagles released Now That's What I Call Music, Volume 7, and people bought it because they're like, well, all their other stuff is junk, but if you give it to me all at once, that's pretty cool.
If you
Michael Jackson said, what's that?
If you give me every A side from their singles, put it all on one album, and then I go up against just somebody's regular album.
Yeah. It's not fair.
You should beat them hands down.
Yeah. It's literally stacking the deck. It's literally saying we're only putting. Now here, listen, I don't hate the Eagles. Eagles, if you're listening, I know you're listening. Glenn Frey, listen, I don't have anything against you personally.
Isn't he dead?
I think he is.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Don Henley. Don Henley, you're still alive.
Or is it Don Henley? One of them's dead.
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The Eagles Hotel California is number 3. At least last I checked, it had sold 26 million. So that single album, Hotel California, is an accomplishment. Just take the second place. There's no faulting you for just saying, look, we've got the number 2. We're only behind Michael Jackson. Everyone would say, yeah, well, that seems logical. You can't beat Michael Jackson. No. They have to be the number 1 with the greatest hits album. And here's another thing that made me even more angry. And this, Jayce, you're going to like because it gets into conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Because recently, within the last few years,
that's what recently
the Eagles, sometime before the dawn of time.
Sluys is always the voice of reason.
Sometime between now and the Neolithic era, the Eagles record label found like 19 million or something record sales that they previously hadn't counted.
What?
Yep.
Please tell me this isn't going to segue into some really bad discussion about the recent unpleasantries in electoral law.
I'm not going to discuss it, but
okay,
I mean, you could go there, but we're not
going there.
No, but it makes you wonder. Like this is, and just
how
so
does one find 19 million lost copies? How does one lose them to begin with?
Poor bookkeeping first, but secondly,
there was a lot of cocaine back then.
Right. And I have to point out, in fairness to the RIAA, they only count wholesale purchases. So it's not like when you go buy at the store, that doesn't count, but the store buying them from the record, that counts. So if I were to go buy 100 Thriller albums, or I guess I would have to buy 8 million or something to make any difference.
Right.
It wouldn't count until the stores had to replenish their stock. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
I understand the accounting principle you're talking about here.
It does apparently count downloads though now, like when you download albums. So it's a little weird, and so I guess there is some fuzzy math going on, but all of a sudden the Eagles record label finding 8 million or whatever it is album sales, it does beg the question, okay, well, what happened and why were they just apparently found now? And why can't Michael Jackson's record label find 40 million and just end this?
I'm going to get to the bottom of this by heading out to 8chan and see what I can find in the subreddits.
Yeah, you've got your contacts.
That'll prove this right.
Exactly.
Or wrong.
This is something that literally, if anyone mentions the Eagles, the band, not the football team, because I could care less. If anyone mentions, and I live
right in there.
I live in Pennsylvania, so I have to be tolerant of that. But anyone who mentions it, I get amped up. I get amped up because it's not fair. And Michael Jackson can't fight for himself now because he's deceased. So someone
honestly, could he ever to begin with?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he could have a dance off or something. He could somehow defend himself.
I think that only works in Zoolander.
Sure
He's defended himself against worse.
I guess you could say that. That is true. So we won't get into what that worse is, but what I find interesting is, as I'm looking through, as you're discussing, and I totally understand why this makes you mad. I get it.
Yeah.
Why it makes you mad. And it makes sense if you're, putting one against the other. This, they should have to take the Eagles' Hotel California versus Thriller,
right?
Not the greatest hits versus Thriller.
Not fair.
But so if you go to the list of, I'm looking at it, and I think they rate this on overall sales, like when you count US, Japan, UK, Germany, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So according to Wikipedia, which is the source of all truth in the universe.
Sure.
Where
Michael
anyone
Jackson
can rate
is
anything about any topic. So you can get the best possible information.
Yeah.
That's why I say the source of all truth, because I go through and fix it all.
Perfect.
But AC/DC's Back in Black album is number 2, which I say, and the numbers will back me up, is the greatest comeback album of all time.
I agree. And we talked about this last week too.
Yep. I just wanted to say it again because I like being right.
All right. Let the record show, Your Honor. The record shows AC/DC. Now they're listed in the US as number 4. So that's, it stands to reason. Now, worldwide, they are more popular than some of the artists that the US enjoys. So like the list of the top 10, and I'm going to give this to you guys just because it will spur some debate. The top 10, according to the RIAA, Eagles, greatest hits, blah. We already know that's an asterisk, if anything. Michael Jackson's Thriller. Eagles' Hotel California is close behind with 26 million certified units. Then we've got AC/DC Back in Black, the Beatles. This is the first appearance by the Beatles, which is weird to me. Billy Joel's got a Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2, which is a great album, don't get me wrong, but nobody wanted any of his original albums. Led Zeppelin 4 is next. Pink Floyd's The Wall. Garth Brooks' Double Live.
Pink Floyd's The Wall is higher than Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? But wait till you hear what comes after Garth Brooks' Double Live. Are you ready for this?
Shania Twain.
Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Rear View.
I'm not called foul on that one.
Oh, that's a terrible record.
So when you
I'd rather listen to Darius Rucker's country albums.
I'd rather listen to the Wallflowers.
When you when you guys consider the top 10 highest selling albums in the United States, and you could name, let's say 100 and see if any of them got in, would any of them been Hootie and the Blowfish?
Nope.
Me neither.
No.
And don't get me wrong, that's also, I have that CD and it's a good album.
No, it's not. Stop it.
All right. Well, it's a well put together album. And
okay, Let Her Cry is a good song. I'll give you that one. But
21 million people agree with me that it's a good album, but it beat Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
Wow.
It beat, not by a lot, but it beat Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. It did beat Shania Twain, Come On Over, but that was 20 million, so that's understandable.
Okay.
It beat Elton John's Greatest Hits. It beat the Bee Gees. It beat Metallica. I mean, it beat Bruce Springsteen by a long shot and Journey by a long shot. And this is Hootie and the MF Blowfish. Seriously.
Wow.
So there's no accounting for U.S. taste is what I'm trying to say.
I'm fairly certain that no Hootie and the Blowfish songs during at least any of our shifts, even on All Request Saturday night, got played.
I can't say that that's true. I'm sure.
I was just setting you up to say, Matt, that's terrible. I can't believe you did that.
I'm sure I played it. Not, you know what? I may not have played anything from that album, but I know that they did a couple of covers that I definitely played. So I have to say, Hootie was played on All Request Saturday night.
Oh, they did a Zeppelin cover that was good.
Yeah. Hey, what can I do?
Oh, damn it.
And they did Dream Baby by Roy Orbison.
Like I said, Darius Rucker's country album, not bad. His version of Wagon Wheel, pretty good.
He's got a good voice.
Give him credit.
He's got a good voice. And the Blowfish, they're a decent band.
I have not to turn this into a Hootie cast, but I do have one small minor story about Hootie and the Blowfish.
Let's hear it.
Back before I ended up at Northern, my friends and I stayed up all night to get tickets to see Pink Floyd on the Pulse tour.
Okay,
sweet.
And that same
that
day, this is
truly a worthwhile endeavor.
And it's a nice segue because it's on Sluys' list. So here we go.
Yeah.
So we stayed up all night and we went down to the Hudson's at the Fashion Square Mall because I lived in the mid Michigan area.
I haven't heard those three words put together in 25 years.
Let me get my cane out so I can finish the rest of the story.
Nice.
But we stayed up all night, waited in line to get tickets. And you want to know who else's tickets were going on sale that morning?
I'm going to guess Hootie
and the MF and Blowfish. And we were standing in line, and that was a dude in line kept yelling, "You here for the booty and the whole fish tickets?"
I was gonna say, did they separate out the lines and like
clever?
One line was like suspiciously longer than the other. Like
it was kind of like when you start lining up the different age groups in high school, and you got the seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. They kind of just separate themselves. You didn't have to do it. But I just remember that dude standing there yelling, "Hey, you in line for them booty and the whole fish tickets?" It's like, no, we're here for Pink Floyd. You've asked us 17 times.
He just found it funny and wanted to get as much mileage out of it as possible.
Yeah. And this is the first time I've thought about that in a very, very long time. But like I said, it segues us back to Sluys' list because Pink Floyd's version of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which is great, is on that Pulse, and I want to say it was a double CD, double live.
It was, yeah.
Isn't that the one that had the light that blinked in it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had a red light on the spine of the CD case.
Indeed.
Which made it super easy to find in the racks when you were looking, when you had like 13 seconds left in a song and had nothing queued up. Like,
yeah.
So
I love that. That's a good
although
one.
Let's face it, we all had like a good chunk of that CD rack pretty well memorized. Like all our go-tos, like we knew exactly where they were.
Yeah.
Like, third shelf over, four shelves down, like 6 CDs in from the left. Like grab that one and like you could just blindly throw it in there.
Right. And Sluys, were you a big, like, did you get big stacks ready, or did you kind of go 2 or 3 CDs at a time? I can't remember.
I would if I was feeling, if I had like something like a kind of a setup I wanted to go for, I would like kind of start laying them all out. But in general, like I would start with like probably 5 or 6 songs deep to start with, and like by the end of 2 hours, I was like going like song to song, like because a lot of times it was, I don't want to say free form, but like I would just kind of go with where the mood was taking me. Like, all right, this is a cool song. Now I want to hear this song. Or, depending on which direction that mood took me, like, all right, I just played like a sad song. Now I need to like, liven it up. Or, oh, that reminds me of this song. That's really cool. I want to play that one. So I ended up being, much less scripted. Some other folks I think would, have, they'd have 16 hours of music and they'd whittle it down to their, 2 hours and then have to take 2 songs out because they had to do, some talking in between somewhere.
Right. Yeah. So it's when I was going over your list, and I mentioned before on a different podcast that I don't know how I'm going to possibly whittle down my count of songs to a reasonable list, because I have an Amazon playlist that's like 200 and something odd songs.
Yeah.
And I definitely added some stuff from your list to mine.
Sweet, dude.
Because as I was going down, I'm like, oh man, yeah. Some of the, and you know, they're not all good, but they all hit that memory of like, oh,
Right.
everybody played this. Like,
Yeah.
you had Beck, Steve Threw Up.
Right. Not a good song.
Is not good.
It's not artistically redeeming in any sense of the word.
No, but I remember hearing it all the time.
Yeah.
And what's
it was
funny,
a 45 in the, off to the left there by the computer.
Yeah. And it was just about disgusting. It was about someone throwing up, and it was disgusting.
Yeah.
But what was
Steve
cool,
had 3 hits of bad acid.
Right. That's right. And when I was like, well, I'm adding that to my Amazon playlist. Definitely. It's got to go on there. And when I was looking it up, it doesn't exist on Amazon, but somebody covered it.
Which astounds me.
Somebody covered Steve Threw Up, and I don't even remember the artist. I wrote it down and then I didn't bring it into the studio with me, but it's weird that someone else was even thinking about that song, but thinking about it enough to say, I'm going to put this on an actual, recording. And I'm assuming in some worlds it's on a CD for those of you who use those still. And that to me blows my mind that that somebody else was like, oh, more people have to hear this.
Right. This needs to be put out to the world because, the world is lacking by not having this. Or maybe it was a drunken dare. Maybe, it was dudes like us sitting around, and thinking of like terrible songs and like songs that you couldn't possibly do worse than the original.
That makes more sense. Now, you know what? Now that you say that, that makes the most sense. Somebody probably said, hey, tell me, what's the worst song that you could cover and release on an album? And they probably all just sat around thinking of the weirdest songs. And someone said, oh, you got to do this.
And then his buddy Steve Threw Up.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And then
it's either that or it's, Bismarcky, Just a Friend.
That's catchy.
Oh no, what was wasn't those the one that reminds me of the acts from Bismarcky was that Toilet Rap?
Oh God.
I don't remember
Sitting
that.
on the toilet waiting for I got a doo-doo rap. Remember that one?
That's what it was, yes.
Yes. I do. Oh no, that was horrible.
But it was the Biz, so it wasn't horrible.
Right.
You played it and you laughed and had a good time.
His out of tuneness is like probably one of the best part of the song,
Yeah. Going into it, you knew it was going to be awful, so you just enjoyed the ride. Like every song that he released was not. I mean, I think he covered Benny and the Jets.
Did he really?
Yeah.
It was either a whole song or it was part of another song.
It was not good, but I loved it.
Well, it was not good that it was good. It's one of those deals.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this was a good list.
Well, thanks, and actually this is completely not a college radio song, but it reminds me of that time. Big time. And when I hear it, I'm transported. I don't know why. And I think it's because of the album, maybe not the song directly, was Wyclef Jean and Gone Till November.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And this is coming, from the metal guy.
Yeah.
But that song, I can like put myself right back there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I know exactly where it was in the stacks. It was that like, it was a black plastic rack that was like, by the window between the on-air booth and the production
room
booth.
And the on-air room.
Yeah. I know exactly where it was. It was like on the bottom shelf, kind of towards the leftish.
That's
again
impressive.
Why I know that is silly, but
so I remember playing Wyclef doing Bubble Goose from the South Park soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do I not
bullet
remember
in your Bubble
this?
Goose?
Put a bullet in your Bubble Goose. You put a bullet in, and it was Wyclef and the South Park kids singing it. So it was Cartman singing "Put a bullet in your Bubble Goose." Yeah, it was. I wonder if that still exists anymore. See, that would be another one I have to add.
There you go.
I'll bet you it does. It's funny. It's funny that South Park comes up because where I work, you guys will be shocked by this. I'm on the older end of the guys who work in our studio.
Right.
And the younger, the guys who are in their mid-20s, they'll be sitting in the booth watching South Park, like the current South Park episodes. And I just laugh when I tell them stories of when we didn't have Comedy Central in Marquette. For whatever reason, it wasn't on the cable system up there. And we used to have to get like bootleg South Park episodes on VHS tape and watch them at Radio X Movie Night.
Oh, I remember somebody brought in the Santa. What was it? The very first. It was like it was the pilot or something.
Yeah, it was the pilot. The Santa versus Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was before it was even a show.
About that one.
It was right,
before
kids.
It was even on TV. We watched
bastard.
it. Yeah. We watched that at Radio X Movie Night. That's true.
Yeah.
There was that, and then that one classic take on A Clockwork Orange. You guys remember that one? we won't say the title because my daughter does listen to this podcast, but it was a classic take. It was a new classic take on it, but
it was an interesting take. I think we had to tape up the window of the door when we watched that. Yeah.
Was that after Howard Stern's Private Parts movie?
There was that one. Private Parts, yeah. We did the.
You remember when we used to get in Jerry Springer's Too Hot for TV?
Yes, I remember, and we would watch. We did the Pink Floyd Wizard of Oz thing. We did.
Oh yeah, we played the album and watched the movie.
We did Dark Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz. That was fun. I don't believe any illegal substances were consumed or anything.
And I wasn't even stoned when I watched it.
I think we just kind of watched it and thought, oh, wow, that is kind of cool.
Yeah, look, there's somebody
it's weird how it works out.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some memories that are attached to those movie nights that are not suitable for airplay, even on a podcast.
They're not even suitable for podcast play.
No.
Yeah, that it just mainly because we all grew up and have respectable jobs now, and we need to keep them so we can keep paying for our lives.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Oh man, I forgot about some of the moments that came from movie night.
Yeah,
I just remember. Bridgette keeps coming up because Bridgette was such an integral part of that time.
There. Definitely.
And she went out and rented the movies one night, and there was a certain genre of movie that she rented, and everybody got mad at her because from Family Video, or as we like to call it, Make a Family Video,
which is still open.
God, is it really?
But
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was there in July, and it's still open.
Good God.
And and it was more artsy instead of graphic, we'll just go with. And everybody got mad at her because it was artsy. And then she got mad at all of us because we didn't appreciate the art of the movie that she brought us.
Yeah.
And I was like, looking back, I'm like, wow, we argued over this. People literally, I mean, it wasn't like mad, but people got mad at each other at movie night because of this.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And in the end, you can't watch it anywhere else.
Right.
It's not like
you're not going to put it on in the common room in the dorm.
No.
Well, maybe you would have.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean,
depending what kind of attention you were trying to attract that night, I suppose.
Yeah.
So that was a great inside joke that many people will not understand, but was still very funny to us. I hope you enjoyed it.
And every once in a while, there'll be a conversation that we know there's going to be like a dozen people that really like it, and everyone else will be like scratching their heads. What? And that's okay.
And that's,
we can please some of the people some of the time.
And we can. Yeah, I think there's more to that statement, but I don't remember how it goes.
No.
But a couple more on your list that really stand out to me. And one is because it was mentioned on other ones. I just feel we need to say it again, is Digger, I Want My Hat Back.
Oh, was that on like a different show too?
I think we talked about it, not with Jeff, but I think Matt and I just talked about it like 2 or 3 before.
Oh, really?
That was one of those songs that the only place I ever heard that band was there. Ever.
Yep.
And it's a great song.
Yeah.
I Want My Hat Back. Go check it out. It's a really good song. And the other one that jumped out to me because I actually saw these guys a couple years ago was Real Big Fish and Beer.
Yeah. And they're still jamming.
A really good song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real Big Fish is good. I've seen them in concert too. They're They're fun. Yeah.
Very cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I seen them in Less Than Jake. They were both fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And No Effects. You know, No Effects has a new album out.
Oh, I remember those guys. Yeah.
They just
the new single's called "Fuck Euphemism."
Yes, exactly. It's.
I see what
Have
they
you
did
heard
there.
it? It's pretty good.
I see what you've done there, Fat Mike, and I like it.
It's a short song, but all their songs were kind of short, and it's a fun. I like his wordplay. It was good.
Well, the other thing with is a band like NoFX, I've seen them a handful of times, is because of what they play, they don't get the recognition of the genius lyric writing that they do.
Yeah,
they're really good.
Didn't they do a song called "Hot Dog in a Hallway"?
Like I said, genius lyric writing, Sluys. Genius. What's
Just
not
making sure we're talking about the
Hot
same
Dog in a
band.
Hallway? Yes, we're talking about the same band.
Okay.
Yeah. From their great album White Trash, Two Heebs and a Bean. I remember the first time I saw that album, I didn't get it at all. Didn't get it. Totally didn't get it. Everybody else around me did. I did not get why that was funny. Because I guess I just didn't know, you
didn't have enough life experience.
Like didn't have enough life experience at that point in time. And looking back, I'm like, that's terrible. And it's hilarious at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Simpler times, when you could say that.
Heavy petting zoo. That's great wordplay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they have lots of great lyrics in their songs, but it's the band, once again, that's not for everybody, but I've seen them quite a few times and they deliver the goods every time.
Sweet, man. Yeah. I wish
they do a cover of Champs-Élysées. NoFX does.
That's a cover? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should know that. But
and if you want to know the history of that song, I'd be happy to tell you, because it's actually a cover of a cover that somebody wrote about a completely different road, not even in Paris.
Can you do a cover?
I feel like we're
going to
get very meta here for a second. It's a cover of a cover of a cover.
Wouldn't the second cover just be a cover of the original? Like, you can't really cover the original cover because you're still covering the first song.
I'm glad you asked this, because
it's a philosophical debate we could have. Can you cover a cover, or are you just doing another cover of the original?
Right. Is the family tree go straight down, or is there's like parallel tracks there,
It's kind of parallel tracks. So somebody wrote a song, and it was not in French, but it was about this road, and I'm not prepared, so I don't have all the details, but it was the melody with different lyrics. So it was the da, 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 but it was about, like, Lavender
like
Avenue.
Different lyrics, like how Elton John did, Goodbye English Rose instead of Yellow Brick Road or something like that, or
similar.
Whatever it was.
Yes, but
or was it like how Star Spangled Banner was like an English drinking song?
It's more like that, actually. Yes,
they did different words, like the same melody.
Exactly like that, but it's about this. He's singing about a road, so the key similarity is it's the melody about a different road, and then somebody in France said, "I'm going to write about Champs-Élysées," which is the road of champions or something, street of champions, I think, in French.
Champs-Élysées.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is
So anyway,
that the one that looks like Champs de Lisa?
Yes. Dealese. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm American, excuse me.
So in America, it would be called Champs-Élysées. But anyway, so then NoFX covered the cover, which was actually kind of more of a remake. Okay. You asked, so I told you, but I didn't really have my data in place. So
you kind of started telling us without us asking, and then I just decided to start, throwing rocks at the problem.
Listen, you didn't turn my microphone off, so I blame you.
My favorite part is he thought we asked.
Now you tell me an hour and 20 minutes into this thing, I didn't know I could didn't know I could mute you. That'd be awesome.
Oh.
So for future guests, that little mic button, I think you can click that and make somebody go away.
I think that just means you're raising your hand.
Oh, is that what that means?
Well, let's not press it now in case we have to start all the way over again.
That would be.
Hey, what does this button do? Oh,
don't press the red button.
Definitely don't press the red button.
So I can't. I can't press buttons next to you, but I can. Anyways, that's beside the point.
So, and I think outside of the song list, which there's many more songs in there. As a matter of fact, Sluys, one of my goals is to take these lists that people give us, and I don't know if you use Spotify, but I was going to make Spotify playlists and start attaching them to the shows.
Oh, nice.
So if you listen, you can, I can hit the Spotify playlist of songs from.
I actually recycled my Spotify account that I started like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that.
See, I just got hip to the Spotify. I just got hip to Spotify this year. Like I'm way behind the curve on this one.
Yeah.
And you should know that because I used the word I just got hip to the Spotify.
I thought it was like a retro cool kind of thing, but
maybe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it had been so long. I don't even think Spotify was in the US yet when I got the account because I was in a hotel room in Spain. And so my Spotify account says like I'm from Spain.
Nice.
Just pretty wild.
Sluys from Spain.
Yeah. Which I'm obviously not, but but I was in Spain, and so it said when it said where are you from, I think I put Spain because the U.S. wasn't even an option to put in there yet.
Tricky.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow, so, Spotify, they're anti-U.S. So you heard it here first.
Yeah.
I think they were waiting on a liquor license or something like that. I'm not sure.
Probably.
Like the restaurant was open, but they couldn't actually serve anything.
So ultimately, those are going to be on Spotify. You'll be able to download or click on each of our guests' song list because I think it's cool that we're talking about music and that's something that we all enjoy discussing. And some people are listening and loving the songs that we mentioned, and some are saying, I don't know what they're talking about. And so if we could say, all right, you may not know the song Steve threw up. Why don't you just click here and you get to listen to it as much as you want?
You can actually hear Steve throw up, guys.
Through
the magic of radio.
Lucky you.
It's like he's throwing up in your head.
Right. Good luck explaining that with your kids.
They panned it left to right, so it goes from side to side for you. That's technology, folks.
It's technical expertise with the
post-production
board.
Do you guys remember the Beach Boys record that we had that was in mono, and it was Wouldn't It Be Nice, and we would play it on the record player, and only some of the actual song was playing because it was only like the left side or something. It was really cool because there were moments of just complete silence, and then these harmonies would come out of nowhere, and then they would drift off again. It was.
I actually do remember that.
That was awesome.
To some extent, like it's kind of a fuzzy kind of thing. Do we play that on the air, or do we try to play it?
We played it on
like,
the air.
What's going on? Like this makes no sense.
It seemed like something was wrong, but it was cool too.
Yeah,
I remember none of this.
I like the putting playlists. Like having a link to a playlist or something like that. That'd be kind of neat. I may have changed a few things if I had known that going into this, but that's fine. I mean, that's my truth. So
surprise,
right? That's your truth.
And I was nice enough to label the ones that are not suitable for airplay. So
that's handy.
Yeah,
I mean, this whole thing.
I thought that was very Radio X of you.
Before even knowing that someone had asked for tags on things that may be not suitable for small children and whatever.
I treat this like
people.
I treat this like I treat my kids. They've heard me swear in front of them before.
Sure,
yeah,
this is really no different.
Yeah,
totally.
Matter of fact, this is much tamer than they've heard, which does not put me in a very good light when I say it that way. I am a good parent, I promise.
But I think to a certain extent, when you are. And maybe this is just me, and maybe it's kind of a Pavlovian response, but when I put on headphones and talk into a microphone, it feels much weirder to swear.
Yes,
it does.
Because I'm like, I don't swear a lot, but every once in a while. But when I have the headphones on and I'm hearing my voice and I say, and when I drop a F-bomb or something, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm going to get fired.
Right.
Well, and I still work in media and work in production.
Yeah.
And so over the many years I've been doing this, I've gotten pretty good at, it's like as soon as I walk into a control room, like I don't curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't happen.
Right.
And then it's like a switch. I walk out the door and I'm like, F that. He was shit. And you need to do this.
It's been building up. Pressure has to be released.
There's a certain number of F-bombs you got to drop in the day. And if you can't drop them at work, you got to let them out before they come out on their own. So.
And I don't know about you guys, but through this whole COVID thing, in our office, there's been like generally from 5 to 12 people total in a giant building.
Nice.
And so it's gotten very loose.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I was telling one of my coworkers the other day, I says, I really got to clean it up when, upper management starts showing up around here again. I can't be like, hey, so-and-so, how the fuck you doing? That's not going to do well for the bank account.
That's how we're going to start.
The other guy's like,
podcast.
so you quit drinking? Like, wait, were we talking about the same thing?
But I think one other thing that we didn't cover, but I think we need to cover,
okay,
is that not only, and maybe you did and I wasn't listening, which would be par for the course, but that we didn't mention is not only did you guys know each other growing up, not only did you guys you lived in the same dorm and floor, if I remember correctly.
Yep,
same room.
Okay, you guys are roommates.
Yeah.
You were also roommates in the apartment.
Yes, we were. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That I probably spent way more time in than my own apartment.
Rock Street.
Yeah, on Rock Street, sleeping in the Worm.
Exactly.
The Worm. That thing was great, dude.
If only there was a practical application for that in my life now. It's just such a ridiculous piece of furniture.
There's definitely an application for that. Whatever happened to that? Did you give it away when you left the UP or something? Or?
Yeah, I want to say it had to be destroyed.
I'm not even asking why.
I'm fairly certain that the lady he's married to commanded it be gone.
She was a smart lady.
Fair.
Even then. She was smart, wise beyond her years.
Yes.
And the thing
was gross.
Yeah.
Let's just say it.
It's a good concession to your, future relationship, I'd say.
It was really cozy. It was okay for anyone who doesn't know that in the God, I want to say this had to have been built in the 70s or 80s because nobody would make something like this now. But we had a piece of furniture that was basically a sausage about 10 feet long? How long?
No,
was it?
like 20.
20 feet long.
Easily 20 feet
It's like 20 feet long. So think of a pencil, like a beanbag shaped like an unsharpened pencil, only it was, say, 3 feet in diameter and like 20 feet long and brown.
Yeah, if you could fold it 3 times over and it would make a nice couch.
Yes. I want to give any listeners who are much younger than us, I want to give you a visual representation of what this looked like.
Okay.
Blue whale
Imagine the poop emoji as furniture.
Yes.
That's exactly it. Yes. We actually coiled it up like that a couple times and put it in that left corner. Yeah.
If only photos existed of the worm, because that would be something to put up on our Instagram. But I don't think any photos I haven't seen photos of that in forever. I don't think they exist.
I don't ever remember a camera being in your apartment.
Possibly not.
I ever remember a camera needing to be in our apartment, or it should have been in our apartment.
No, we did have an old timey transistor radio, but we didn't have a camera.
Right, and we had that TV that like your dad swiped out of a hotel or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know. Bought at an estate sale. Let's say.
Yes. Yeah. But that worm was where Jayce slept a lot because
I did sleep there quite a bit.
Yeah, and it was a
good
cozy piece of furniture, but it outlived its usefulness, and so it's
comedic value.
The problem is I can't believe that we moved it from anywhere to anywhere. It was the biggest, most ridiculous thing to carry from one place to another. So I think it probably just had to be thrown out the window. I don't remember getting it up and down those stairs.
It was ungainly as hell, man. It took like 2 or 3 of us, with it doubled over to get it like down the stairwell or something like that.
Yeah, but it was lovely.
I'm just trying to think, because I wasn't there when y'all got it, but I'm just trying to think of in my head, like, where did you see it and go, this looks like a good idea, we should get? Only would college guys look at something like that and go, I think that looks fantastic. We should definitely have it.
It was in somebody's room in the dorms. Did we get it from somebody in the dorm, like Melanoma or something?
I don't remember.
Did you just say that you knew somebody named Melanoma?
No, it's just what we called her.
That's terrible.
Her name was,
I don't even know who this person is.
Her name was Mel, and she was dating a guy named Omar. And so
That's
we kind of pulled a
right.
Benefer on him
right.
and called him Melanomar, which turned into melanoma. I skipped the punchline.
remember that
obviously.
now.
Yeah.
Hold on, I think I know who Mel is.
So
I'm thinking back. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who she is.
She was in Aspen House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys lived over in Payne, I think.
No, we were in.
No, we lived in
VA.
Mountain House.
Oh,
No,
VA. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Van Antwerp in Mountain House.
Yep.
So I don't. Gosh, I don't. You know what? You know who might know? Ben might know.
Ben would know. Yeah.
Ben might know where.
Because it may have been in his room, or I don't.
Because I can't remember. I don't.
Oh man, I slept in something that came out of Ben's room.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. Well, we all make mistakes.
Things happen everywhere, really. I mean,
Right.
Things that are better to find out after the fact.
let he who
Like
is without
this.
weirdness cast the first stone.
Concur. Yes.
So yeah, the Worm and Sluys and I were roommates there.
Yep.
We went to junior high school together. We went to high school together.
Mm-hmm.
We went to college together, and then we went our separate ways. And Sluys. So I stand by this, and this is what I tell everyone when people ask me about Sluys, and it comes up pretty frequently because my kids are now at the age, especially my older kid, who wants to hear stories about how I met people and how I did certain things. And I have to I have the worst memory in the world. So I have to really, really think, how did I meet people?
Yeah.
But I definitely remember meeting you, Sluys, for the first time. And I always tell people that Sluys is the only person I know who went into college to do something and did pretty much exactly what you set out to do with college. Like, wouldn't you say you did pretty much exactly what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's how it worked out. There were some twists and turns along the way.
Well, sure.
Were unplanned.
But that's life. That's life.
Like looking back on it, I ended up exactly where I wanted to be when I went into college.
Yeah.
But the
intervening
intervening 4 or 5
happens.
years.
Well, sure.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
that
that's
hardly ever happens.
I mean, that's the joke. Like, how do you know somebody's a freshman in college? They're still pre-med.
Right. Yep.
But
exactly.
Yeah, somehow that worked out. Like I came up with this plan in high school. Like, I want to do this, and I worked backwards. Like, here's what I got to do that. And then I went to college and started, jumping through that set of hoops, and kind of fell off. I kind of forgot about the plan entirely until, I was kind of in my 4.5 year and a little burned out, and ready to stop being a broke college kid and whatnot else, because all my friends had graduated at that point.
Yeah.
They were just broke adults at that point.
Exactly.
Right. But they're broke adults with college degrees at that point. So, which is somehow better, I guess.
So basically, you went to school, you studied physics, you did ROTC. You were
not in college, actually. I did not do ROTC.
Didn't you? I thought you did.
I took,
no,
so
he wasn't ROTC.
I did one of a semester in that world.
Yes.
I did a semester in that world, and I was thinking about doing but all they had at Northern was Army ROTC.
Gotcha.
And I wasn't convinced I wanted to do the Army and whatnot else. And then I kind of fell off the plan. I'm like, I don't know, because I think what it was is the ROTC program wanted you to basically they would give you the scholarship, and but you had to do school every single semester until you graduated.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So it was like, all right, so you've got freshman year done. Like, okay, so we'll give you the scholarship, but you got to be in school for every semester. So fall, winter, spring, summer, year round, the whole time. Right. And you'll graduate in 2.5 more years or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not sure I'm really down for that. Like, I would like to still, have a summer and maybe a life and that kind of thing. So
I'd still like to go to college.
Right. I would like to enjoy my college experience, I
want to have that experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go completely gung-ho on this kind of thing yet. I'll just dabble my feet a little bit. And so it kind of push came to shove, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I went away. But I did do one of the Army ROTC classes, like my first semester or something like that. And it was a lot of fun. So
I remember you did that. You get to rappel.
Did you rappel from the Superior Dome?
Yeah, because the ROTC kids would kids. I mean, we were 18, 20,
you were
whatever.
Kids.
But, yeah, we're kids. So at the football games, like that's how they would like bring the game ball out or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I ever went to a football game at Northern, but I think that's how they would like deliver the game ball to the ref, is like the ROTC guy would like rappel down from the center of the dome and like hand him the ball or something like that.
Nice.
So, or the national anthem or something like that, whatever. But they would do something like that. So we got to do that a couple of times, and it was pretty badass, honestly. Like it was cool to do. So.
So now you are, for people who are trying to keep track of Sluys, the score, you are now a pilot.
Correct.
You are a professional pilot and you are a military pilot, both, right?
I am currently both. Yes. So yes.
Does the military know this?
Yes. Both of my jobs know this.
Okay. So I wasn't going to tell, by the way.
Yeah. So, okay, since we're going to specifics, like back, in high school when I had this, I was working backwards. I was like, it'd be cool to be a pilot. This would be awesome. And so I kind of worked backwards, like, okay, I can either go to school for that, which is going to cost a lot of money, and I'm going to be on the hook for these huge student loans to go to like Embry-Riddle or something like that to, pay for myself to learn how to be a pilot and get the experience to get a job doing it. Or I can maybe let somebody pay for it for me. And since it's not a Charles Dickens book and I don't have a benefactor to like spring that coin for me, like I bet you Uncle Sam will do that for me. So I was like, all right, well, pilots in the military, you have to be an officer. In order to be an officer, you have to have a college degree. So I guess I'm going to college. That was that whole plan there. 4.5 years later, I had completely forgotten about it entirely. Again, I'm walking down Washington Street and I'm literally walking past whatever that building was, kind of a red stone kind of building or whatever with the stairs going up the front, where the recruiting offices were. And I was just, sick of being a broke college kid. So I walked in, it was like 11:30 in the morning and the only office that was open, everybody else had gone to lunch, was like the Navy office.
Mm-hmm.
And so I walked in there and I was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Talk to me. And, got to talking or whatever else. And long story short, I was going to go be working in submarines. I was going to go work on nuclear power plants and submarines. And then I got an email a few weeks later from a guy, officer recruiter, that said, basically the email said, hey, we're hiring pilots right now. I see you only have like 1 semester left. If you can finish up this semester and get your degree, then we could put you in an officer program. Oh, by the way, we're hiring pilots. So if you've got good enough vision and, can run from here to there without falling down or dying, let me know. And I was like,
seriously, that was the only qualifications? I totally should have been a pilot.
More or less. Yeah.
So at what point did Danger Zone start playing in the background while you were hearing him talk? Like, was it right when he said the word pilot? As soon as
pretty much when I got to the L in pilot, I think in the email is when it started playing. And I,
so was it Danger
I was already
Zone
looking for sweatpants
by Van Halen.
What's that?
Was it Danger Zone or Dreams by Van Halen?
Oh, it was Danger Zone. Come on, man.
Okay.
Dude, I was
Danger Zone.
I was 7 years old when the first Top Gun came out. 7 or 8 years. It was 84, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, it was absolutely Danger Zone.
I'm just glad it wasn't Operation Dumbo Drop.
Oh God, no. Jesus, really? Come on. I thought we were friends, man.
He can kill you with his left hand.
Everyone has an origin story. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Just glad yours was cooler.
So I did all that stuff, and next thing you know, I'm in Pensacola for Navy OCS.
Nice.
Yeehaw. Yep. So
Very
did
cool.
that. Yeah. So did that for 10 years, checked down to the reserve side. So I went to be a part-timer, and I've been doing that for the last 10 years now. So.
And full time, you fly.
So right now, I have 2 jobs. One is I'm a reservist for the Navy, flying C-130s. So the Navy has C-130s, the cargo plane. I don't know if it was in Dumbo Drop. I haven't looked, and I don't care. 4-engine turboprop. You've seen it before. Trust me, it's the single most popular cargo aircraft in the entire planet. So yeah, flying those for the Navy all over Hell's Half Acre. And then my real job that will take me past when the Navy runs out all the way to 65, so as long as I don't poke an eye out or something like that, is with a major airline that you've all heard of.
Nice.
So, yep.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, life's pretty good. So
excellent.
Can't complain. get to.
Well,
get
I
I'm
gotta
just
say-
impressed that you did all that. Didn't you fly helicopters for a while?
I did. That was my first platform in the Navy. So I
Didn't
flew.
you fly an elephant in a helicopter somewhere?
I don't think there was an elephant ever, Matthew.
Eddie was
you
a big
have
guy,
to get
but he
an
wasn't
elephant
that big.
down the Amazon River? Am I forgetting? Am I remembering this wrong?
I'm pretty sure it's the Mekong, but no.
Okay.
Just in
Well,
case
Sluys,
you're
thank you so much for joining us. This has been a
No problem,
blast
guys.
to catch up. I think, I think it's worth noting also that there was zero technical difficulty with your setup. So thanks for having some nice microphone equipment.
No
We
problem,
appreciate that. It was cool. So for everybody listening, we want to thank you for listening. We want to remind everybody that our Instagram happens, and there are going to be some pictures of stuff. If we can find a picture of the worm, we're going to put that right up there. Also, I have to point out that we have a flourishing Twitter thing happening. Like I'm still horrible at it, but I'm getting really good at tweeting things. I'm tweeting all the time, and people are actually sometimes responding. So that's really cool. So if you have Twitter, we're xRadiox. We're at xRadiox. I think the thing is at xRadiox1 is our handle. So be sure to tweet me, because I so far I've had like maybe 2 people say anything. So it would be really cool if people still use Twitter. If you're on Twitter, feel free to follow us, and we'll follow you right back. What am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anything, Jayce?
We're on Facebook.
We're on
We have an
Facebook.
xRadiox group.
Yeah, so there's a group on Facebook. So if you are a fan, feel free to check us out on the book face. I am not on Facebook, so I don't really know anything about how that works, but Jayce has got us a group, so feel free to check that out. And we will have stuff on our website, right? Eventually?
Yeah, website is in process. There'll be an email address, so you can send us all of the love or all of the hate. Either way, I suppose we're gonna get both of them. And you can go out to your favorite podcatcher and rate us. Like if you're at Apple's,
Please.
at the whatever they use in Apple for. I work in technology. I should know all of this stuff, but
Music. Apple Music.
yeah, like
right?
if you go out to Apple
Music.
Podcasts, it's Apple Podcasts is what it is. And you can find us there at
Got it.
xRadiox, and you can rate it. And like we said before, you can, call us names if you want. Just give us 5 stars.
Yeah. 5 stars is not too much to ask. It's not hurting anybody to give us 5 stars.
No.
And it gets the word out there.
Yeah, you can give us 5 stars and tell us we smell and dress bad. We don't care. Just give us the 5 stars. That's the important part.
They have no idea how we smell right now. No idea.
But Matt, the internet. You don't have to have an idea to say anything out there. So
That's true.
But usually we end these programs with some sort of fun lyrical thing.
Yeah.
Did not plan it this time. I don't have any.
Oh, I actually, I put a note down.
You put a note down. Where?
Yes. So you know what? Let's actually.
Remember, you're in Pennsylvania. I'm in Michigan. Where'd you put this note?
It's on the refrigerator.
it's on the Zencaster screen.
Next year.
Oh, is it? Oh, look at that. This is normally where professional podcasters would probably edit, but we're just going to run into this next part.
All right. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Once again, I am Matt.
And I am Jayce. So take it, Matt.
To the limit.
One more time.
Thanks, everybody. It's xRadiox.